Hey, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the UGreen HiTune wireless earbuds. Yes, I've reviewed some products from UGreen in the past, but nothing quite like this. But before I go any further, let me get you down to the wood top so you can get a quicker and better look at what these things look like. Okay, here is the case. You can see the UGreen silk screened right there on top of it. In the front, right here, these three little dots is battery indicator lights. If I open it up, you can see that there's only 3, which means that's roughly 33% per dot. And of course on the back, let me show you that first, is the USB Type-C port for charging. On the bottom, they give you a little bit of information, but nothing really too important. And there's the buds themselves. As soon as you lift it up, the blue light will come on. It's automatically in pairing mode. Now, if you already paired these, like I did mine, they automatically pair to my phone. And this is what they look like. And of course, the 2 little brass dots there are the charging contacts. And yes, they are labeled left and right. And on the inside right down there is the 2 charging posts. And it is magnetic. So as soon as you put it in, it connects them. As you can see, the magnet is fairly strong. They didn't fall out. And that's it. And then when these 2 lights are flashing like they are now, that means that they are charging the earbuds. So don't think there's something wrong with the 3 lights. Right there is the battery indicator. And that's what they look like. The HiTune earbuds use Bluetooth 5.0. They also contain the Qualcomm QCC3020 chip. And it supports the aptX, AAC, and SPC profiles. And the built-in microphones, I really hope I'm going to say this correctly, are the MEMS microphone. And it also uses CVC 8.0 noise canceling technology. Once you're done charging them, which I highly suggest you do, as soon as you pull it out, one or both of the earbuds out of the case, they automatically go into Bluetooth pairing. Of course, if you already paired your device, they will automatically connect to that device. Does have an IPX5 waterproof rating, which really means it's sweat proof, maybe a splash proof, but don't take them into the shower or go swimming with them, okay? Don't do that. Now, UGreen boasts 9 hours of playtime with just the batteries in the buds themselves. Well, I listen to my music about 70 to 75% in volume, and I got 8 hours and 20, well, maybe 21 or 22 minutes. So that's still not bad. 8 hours and 20 minutes out of the batteries in here. And if the batteries go dead, pop them in for 15 minutes, you got an additional 2 hours of playtime right then and there. Now the case itself, the battery inside here, will give you an additional 18 hours of playtime. And if you notice, on the earbuds, there's no buttons anywhere on here. That's because they're touch. It uses the touch technology on it. 1 tap is your play, your pause, and to answer a phone call. 2 taps is the next track or your track skip forward. 3 taps is the previous track or skip track backwards. If you tap and hold for 2 seconds, it ends the call or rejects a call. And if your device has it, it connects you to your voice assistant. Now, how good are these? Let's get into the sound. Well, before I describe that, let me stop right now and give you a sound example of what the built-in microphones sound like. Okay, right now I am in my room with the windows open, and right about now I'm playing a little bit of background noise to kind of simulate a possible scenario indoors if you're using these microphones or these earbuds to make a call and there's some noise in the background. This is what it's going to sound like. Okay, now I'm in the same room, but this time both of my windows are closed, no background noise at all, completely quiet as I can make it, to give you a simulation of a possible scenario. If you happen to use these earbuds to take a phone call, this is what the other person is going to hear on the other end of the line. Okay, I am now outside of my backyard to let you hear how the microphones perform in an outside setting. You might hear some of the birds chirping. Not sure until I listen back to this. You might even hear some of the cars driving by. Once again, I'm not sure until I listen back to this recording. But you, yourself, are going to have to judge on how well the microphones and the UGreen HiTune earbuds perform. I hope this was a very good test for you, and you have a great day. Hey, before I forget, well, actually, I kind of did forget, and I had to come back and film this little bit I'm about to tell you right now. The UGreen HiTunes can also be used in mono mode. What does that mean? Well, you take one earbud out, stick it in your ear, boom, you're listening to music. It doesn't have to be the right one, doesn't have to be the left one. It does have mono mode. So you can have the left one in, put the right one in to charge that one up, and then when the right one is charged up, you can flip them around, put the left one in to charge, and listen to music or phone calls or whatnot with the other earbud. So it does have mono mode. And yes, like I said before, you do get a short USB-C cable, and you do get 2 other sizes of the ear tips in there as well. All right, enough of this little edition of a video. Let me get back to the review. Okay, I hope that was a good enough example of what the microphones sound like on here. And by the way, when I did the inside version with noise, I'm sorry, I did kind of have the fake noise, if you will. I had the volume turned up just a little bit too loud. But the way I look at it is, if you happen to be watching TV, it might be that loud anyway, so I left it in there instead of redoing it. But how do these sound? I know that's what everyone is kind of waiting for. Well, the bass is very deep, warm, and clean. It does produce a nice little thump in these, no matter what genre you're listening to. The bass is pretty deep and, like I said, well defined, well controlled, and it's not muddy at all. It's very clean. The mid-range is nice and punchy and really crisp and detailed. The vocals really come out sharp in this and pretty clean. The drums are really crisp as well through the mid-range in here. The high ends are very crisp, and I do mean crisp and clear. Hi-hats, cymbal hits, they really come through and cut through the mix on here. It's almost as if the highs are a little bit too high in here. Let's put it this way. I cranked up the volume all the way, and it didn't really give me any ear-piercing high ends or anything of that nature. I didn't hear no high-pitched squeals or anything. But because of the high end being up as much as it is in the mix, it did leave my ears ringing a little bit. That also could be because I had it turned up all the way, but there was a little bit of ringing in my ears. And I do have, and it just seems like when you turn your device up all the way, the high end seems to come through a little bit more. I'm not saying it turned it up somehow, but I'm just saying it just really accentuates the high end when you're really turning up the volume especially when you got it maxed out on your device. It really accentuates the high end on here. Basically, on a scale from 1 to 10, if UGreen had these at a 9, you know, setting for the high end, I wish they would lower it down to like 8 or maybe even 7. And I think that would be an ideal way to tune these. Everything else is great. I love the bass that it produces. The mid-range, like I said, is nice and punchy, just like it's supposed to be. The high ends, even though they're a little higher than my liking, I still love the way these sound when I'm listening to my music, when I'm playing my games, watching a movie, watching YouTube videos. It really does have a pretty darn good, awesome sound in these. Now, originally, I wasn't out looking to buy a set of wireless earbuds, but I seen these were on sale, and they were on sale for like 40 bucks with 15% off. And I was like, no way, there's no way these things are going to sound as good as they did, as, you know, they're just going to probably be like really kind of crappy, really tinny, or really just very clinical and metallic almost, meaning nothing but mid-range all the way through and no bass at all. Now, these things are very surprising. I'm really happy I happen to have gotten these, and especially at the price. Like I said, they're like 40 bucks. And at the time of me filming this video, the 15% sale was still going on Amazon. So go to Amazon, look for the UGreen HiTune earbuds, and if the sale ain't on, maybe save it into, you know, onto one of your lists, and when it comes back on sale again, grab them. Hey, for 40 bucks, these earbuds are really, really nice. Now, being that they're earbuds, you got to make sure you do one important thing. You have to make sure that you have the proper ear tips on there. I actually have to use 2 different sizes. One of my ears is slightly bigger than the other. So in one ear I have to use a medium. The other ear I have to use a large to make sure they get the proper seal, so you can get the proper audio response. Not just bass response, but the proper audio response. Because if you don't have them fitted into your ear canals the right way, you're losing out on a lot of the audio experience. So it's not uncommon that you're going to have to possibly change the ear tips on these. And it's, from my understanding, it's not that uncommon for people to have 2 different size ear tips on them to make sure they fit properly in your head. All right. So, do I recommend you getting the UGreen HiTune wireless earbuds? That's a mouthful. Well, yeah, 40 bucks, even at $40, I think these things produce audio very, very well. You will be pleased with the audio experience from this. Now, it's up to you if you like the built-in microphones, if you're going to use them for phone calls. Me, personally, I think they're great when you're inside, no noise. They're perfect. But they try to overcompensate a little bit when you're outside or if there's some noise going on around you. But still, like I said, they're 40 bucks. So yeah, I honestly think the UGreen HiTune wireless earbuds is definitely something you should get. If you like this video, please give it that thumbs up. Please share the video on all of your social media. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button down below and don't forget about the notification bell. Alrighty, well, until the next video, you and your family and friends have a great day.